Kids who know how to manage their anger are taught very clear, intentional messages about emotions, and they're taught the following skills. Teaching kids how to manage their anger ultimately comes down to helping them understand how to change their mindset so that they can view their emotions in different ways. Because here's the thing, society is constantly feeding us messages that polarize emotions, right? There's good emotions like happy, excited, pride, hopeful. There's those good emotions, and then there's quote unquote bad emotions like anger, frustration, sadness, grief, anxiety, right? We kind of have come to view emotions as good versus bad. And these are messages that we have learned from society. We have learned these messages from our caregivers, our friends, our coworkers, everybody, right? And what we have to do as parents is actively and intentionally counterbalance those messages, because your child is going to hear those messages whether we like them or not, right? Their teacher is going to go up to them and say, shh, it's okay, stop crying. Other caregivers or family members are going to be like, why are you so frustrated? You don't need to feel that way. Our child is going to come across messages that unconsciously send them the cue that anger, sadness, frustration, those are bad. Those need to be stuffed. Those need to be avoided. As intentional parents, the intentional parents that we are going to counterbalance those messages by being very intentional about teaching our child that emotions are neither good nor bad. They are simply messengers. Emotions show up in our body and in our mind psychologically to tell us something important. It's a call for us to pay attention so that we can better meet our needs, essentially so that we can survive in the environment, right? It's like the flashing lights that go off on your car to check your engine, to fill up your gas tank, right? Those messages exist so that our car is not stuck on the side of the road somewhere, so that we meet our car's needs so that it continue to function. That's essentially what emotions are. So kids who know how to manage their anger are taught very clear, intentional messages about emotions, and they're taught the following skills. Okay, number one being they are taught how to emotionally express themselves. Now, children naturally do this. They're naturally so good at expressing themselves. They will use play, they will use art, they will use their body and movement to naturally emote, right? Emotions mean, in the Latin word, emotion. It means to get into motion, to do, right? And kids automatically know how to do these things, okay? So it's not really that we need to teach them, although we can be intentional about teaching them specific coping skills. But I think what really helps children is understanding the link between what they're already doing and how that's helping them take care of themselves, how that's helping them express their emotions. So when they do artwork, when they play, when they get dramatic and act out a scene, or they run around the house and get silly, or play a game, or have a dance party, or open up about something that is really scary to them or really frustrates them, when they open up and talk about those things to somebody they trust, they are essentially expressing their emotions in healthy ways. So you can help them understand this. And then of course, get intentional about helping them know themselves and come to understand, well, what is their personal way that they like to express themselves, right? And we all have different ways that we prefer to express themselves. So for me, I'm naturally a writer. I'm a communicator through words. And so I enjoy writing out my feelings, writing out my thoughts. That really helps me process, right? Other people are different. They might prefer to use like another form of art, like drawing or painting, or maybe it's physical movement or meditation and breathing and silence and stillness. There are so many different ways to express ourselves. And so what we want to come to help our individual child learn about themselves, and this takes time over the years, but how do they personally enjoy to express themselves? These are things that are developed with time. These are things that can come in waves and seasons, right? Some months your child may really prefer prefer this way of expressing themselves another way. It also doesn't have to be either or, right? We can enjoy a range of ways to express ourselves, but ultimately children who know how to manage their anger are taught healthy ways how to express their feelings. They're not taught to stuff their feelings. They're not taught to avoid their feelings. They're not taught to shh, just be quiet, right? Just quiet down, go away, right? I can't handle you, so just get out of here. Go figure that out in your room somewhere. Get out of my face. They're not sent those messages. They're actually sent, hey, what you're feeling is important to me. I want to listen to what you're going through. Thank you for sharing that with me in a healthy way. Let's further express ourselves. You're on the right track here. Let me help you in expressing yourself in even more ways. Because here's what I need us to understand is that repressed, stuffed down feelings don't really go away. They just get stuffed down out of conscious awareness, and that makes it more likely for them to erupt like a volcano, literally, at the next time that they're triggered, right? When they don't get their way, when their sibling wants to play with the same toy that they want to play with, when they get the red cup and not the blue cup. All those moments make it more likely that they're going to erupt with anger and erupt with shouting and tantrums because just a second ago they weren't allowed to feel frustrated. You get where I'm going with this, right? It's all interconnected. So teach your child and remember for yourself as a parent that when we stuff our child's feelings, they don't really ever go away. Okay, number 2, children who know how to manage their anger are taught how to communicate their feelings, their wants, and their needs. This is not a skill that kids are just born with. They have to be taught how to communicate. And a lot of us, we're not taught this, okay? So we have to learn this alongside our child. But I need us to understand that when our child starts to use their body to communicate, aka they get aggressive, they start hitting, they start throwing, they start kicking, they start biting or whatever, they are really just trying to communicate how they feel through their body. And so what we have to get intentional about is teaching them how to communicate with their words. And this is so important. I want you to remember this because it's not enough to just say, hey honey, use your words, tell them you need space or tell them how you feel. We have to teach our child phrases like space please, I don't like that, please give me that back, I need attention, I'm feeling left out, I need a hug, I'm hungry, right? They have to actually intentionally be taught how to communicate with their words. And then they also need to be sent very clear signs from us that we take their words seriously, that we listen when they're talking, that they actually get our attention when they use their words, and we are committed to helping meet their needs. Sure, not every time can we drop what we're doing, nor should we drop what we're doing and meet their needs right then and there, but we have to at least acknowledge and encourage their expression when they use their language. Hey, thanks for letting me know what you need right now. I hear you. Right now I'm doing the dishes. I'll be right with you though. What you just said is so important and I'm so proud of you for using your words, right? You might not say all of that in one fell swoop, but we have to also be sending them the message that their words are powerful, that their words hold weight, that we are listening to them, that they are heard, and we are gonna do whatever we can to help them get what they need, okay? We might have to problem solve, we might have to get creative, we might have to do a little compromise, but essentially we're a team here. You're doing your part because you're communicating, and so I'm gonna work and do my best to meet you halfway so we can figure out how to get whatever it is you need met, hopefully, right? In the best way we know possible. It's not always possible, right? But hopefully more times than not, we can meet our child's needs, especially when they go the extra mile to actually express themselves through words and not their body, not their negative behaviors. Number 3, children who know how to manage their anger are taught how to view their emotions. Now, I touched on this earlier, but it's really important to teach children that feelings come and go, that they are not essentially their emotions, right? They are separate from their emotions. Emotions are messengers and they are separate being from their emotions. When they are taught messages like this, they come to understand their feelings so that they're not overwhelmed by them. They're not consumed by them. And so that essentially what you're doing is you're helping them merge their emotional side of their brain and their logical side of their brain, right? There's two sides to the brain. And when we are emotional, it's easy to get swept away in our emotions. And so part of being emotionally intelligent is being able to elicit our thinking brain, our logical brain in the heat of the moment so that we can take the information that our emotions are giving us, use that information, but also use logic, use problem solving, use planning, use all of our higher order thinking to then make the best choice possible, right? This is all what it comes down to. Helping our children make the best possible choices that they can in the heat of the moment so that they don't feel like they have to use their body and they have to be impulsive and get reactive and get very loud and big to be seen. They feel like they have to be big to feel heard. We have to teach our child through the messages that we send and the coaching that we do and the outlets that we give them and that we encourage them that emotions are neither good nor bad. They're just messengers, and I am your guide. I'm going to come alongside you and help you understand what your emotions are trying to tell you right now. I'm going to come alongside you through this process. I'm not intimidated by your big, often what feels like scary feelings. I'm not intimidated by you, right? I understand you at a deeper level. Now, I just created a comprehensive guide on how to understand our child's emotions from a much deeper level so that we're not feeling flustered, powerless, triggered by their really intense emotions, because I feel like this is one of the things that holds us up most, if we're being honest, as parents, is how to handle our child when they're at their worst, right? When their emotions are really big and loud and intimidating. How do we diffuse the situation? How do we calm them down? Make sure you download my free aggression ebook. It's going to give you a 3-step plan on how to calm down your furious child. I go through so many things in the guide, but most importantly, I go through the psychology of anger. I also help you understand that anger is on a continuum so that you can tailor your approach based on the level of dysregulation that your child feels. And then ultimately what to do and say in the heat of the moment. I'm going to give you a 3-step plan based on your child's level of dysregulation. There's also bonus printables. There's just so much goodness in this freebie, and I hope that it's helpful. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. So all you have to do to download the free ebook is go to themomspsychologist.com/ebook to download it for free. That is it for this episode. I hope that it was helpful. Let me know if you're struggling right now with your child's really big feelings like anger and aggression. Let me know what other questions you have. I'm gonna keep talking about this, okay? So let me know down in the comments if you are watching on YouTube what other questions and concerns are coming up for you right now. And that's it for this episode. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.